All right, here's a couple of good trig questions. So the question says the terminal side of an angle in standard position lines on the given line. And they want us to find sine of theta, or whatever the angle is. And it says it's in quadrant 2. So I like this idea that they've done to put it in a quadrant. So the line's going to look like this. It's going to go exactly through there because if I were to rewrite that line in normal uh, format, so I have 7x plus 4y equals 0. It's supposed to be y equals mx plus b, so I'd have 4y equals negative 7x, and then divide everything by 4, so I'd have negative 7 quarters x. So that'd be the equation of the line. Uh, and then why don't I plug a number in? And that's what we want to do here to find this triangle. Like, not a bad idea throwing numbers like that in, but you need to find those numbers. And so what you do is you just plug a number in for x. And since you're dividing by 4, I'm going to plug in a number that's divisible by 4. So I'll put a 4 in. So y is equal to negative 7 quarters times 4. So that's my x value. And then I'll solve that for y. The two 4's cancel, so y is equal to negative 7. So an x value of a positive 4 yields a y value of negative 7. So I'd have a point on my line of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 7. So on my line, that point, it's fairly close, 4 and negative 7's on my line. But they say they want it in quadrant 2. Maybe I should have put a different number. Maybe I should have used a negative 4 because my x value I want to be negative. So I'll put a negative 4 in for that. And if I put a negative 4, that the 4's cancel and the two negatives cancel, so it'd be a positive 7. So I'd have another point of x is minus 4 and y is equal to a positive 7. So at negative 4 and up here, that point is negative 4 and positive 7. So if I'm drawing a triangle from it, this height is going to be 7, and this distance over this way is negative 4. Whoops, negative 4. Okay, so x is negative 4, y is positive 7. And if they want to know what sine theta is, oh, they want them all. Sine, cos, and tan. Well, I have an x and a y, so I can give you tan, because tan is the same as y over x, and y is 7, and x is a negative 4. But I can't give you the other two because I don't know what this hypotenuse is. But I can do Pythagoras. So x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. X is a negative 4, y is a 7. So I get 16 plus 49 equals r squared. So what's that come out to? 67 equals r squared. So r is the root of 67. I don't think anything will divide evenly into that. 67, I don't think so. So if I want to know what sine theta is y over r, and y is a positive 7, and r is root 67. And then cos is x over r, and x is a negative 4, and r's a root 67. Now both of those, like those answers are correct, but they're sort of, I don't know if improper is the right word, but typically, like for cosine, typically we would not want to see a square root on the bottom of a fraction. So typically we would rationalize that by multiplying top and bottom by root 67. So I'd have a negative 4 root 67 on the top, and then on the bottom, you multiply those, it would just come out to plain old 67. So that's what the cos would be. And sine, you do the same thing with. The other question you had is this one, and your answer came out to 2 over root 3, and that is perfectly correct. But again, root 3 typically frowned on. So if you multiply top and bottom by root 3, you get 2 root 3 on the top over the square root of 9, but the square root of 9 is 3. So you get 2 root 3 over 3. That's why it's that. Last question. They say, what is the cotan of negative 180 degrees? Again, I like that you draw a quadrant. negative 180, instead of going up, that's a positive angle, we're going back around this way. And that angle there is negative 180. So here's a point right there that's on that line, that terminal arm. So that point, I can call it the x value. I don't know how far it would go over to the x side, but I do know that the y value is not up or down at all, so the y value is 0. So if they want to know the cotan of that angle, cotan is the flip of tangent. So, and I don't know if you have these in your mind yet, but tangent, I'll write it over here. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. But in terms of the quadrant, we usually say that that's y over x. So cotan is the reciprocal of that, which will be x over y. So in this example here, if I plug those numbers in, I guess x really isn't a number, it's a variable. But whatever x is, y I know is 0. And bzz, thou shalt not have a 0 on the bottom of a fraction. Therefore, the cotan of that angle is undefined. But the tangent of that angle, the y value is 0, and the x, I don't know what it is. But 0 divided by anything is still going to be 0. So the tangent of that angle is going to be equal to 0, but the cotan is undefined. All right, hopefully that helps you with those three. Good job on the others.